And welcome back to the NUTRIMEDICAL Report, probably the best hour of the week when you can get your answers to questions on health and wellness issues with Michelle to make sure that the questions are your best questions by email, and also gets Dr. Bill down to a normal speed and a short and quick answer, hopefully.
Hey, guess what? Hello, everybody. Yesterday was kind of crazy, wasn't it? Anyone that listened to the show yesterday in the car with Kelsey in the back. I apologize for that, but Los Angeles traffic. Gosh, Bill, I'd never want to live in L.A. You couldn't pay me enough to live.
Actually, I like the L.A. has both some wonderful things and some bad things, and they should have had high-speed rail so they to take the traffic off the freeways. Actually, shouldn't be called freeways; should be called long parking lots.
Honestly, it's just insane, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Jeez, we almost had an accident. Bill wasn't paying attention. I go, Bill, they're all stopped. All of a sudden, all the cars stop. And you're going like 60, 70 or more. Just like that, right? It's crazy. So, guess what's coming up?
What?
7 for Heaven, another 7 for Heaven sale.
Coming up over the Easter Passover weekend,
Passover.
Which is next weekend, Passover weekend.
It's Passover weekend, and the sale will start, as our regular listeners, you guys all know, and you're getting all ready and saving up all your hard-earned money for April the 3rd, which is a Friday. That's the first day of the sale, and of course, as usual, it's the same old thing. I try not to change it, because when I do, I confuse everybody, but it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then midnight Monday.
Yeah, so it goes right through Monday.
Yeah, and on Friday it starts really at midnight Thursday, Friday morning.
Yeah. Perfect, okay. And of course,
the secret is I never stay up to midnight, so I do it a couple hours before I go to bed.
Well, it's midnight on the East Coast.
Now, I should be getting you to do this, because you're the one that I'm saying, are you coming to bed yet? Are you coming to bed yet?
Yeah.
In a minute.
I've been an owl, but I'm also getting up early in the morning now. This is good.
Yeah, you can go on less sleep than I can.
Yeah.
So, Bill, isn't that exciting?
It is.
Our Passover, because Passover, what day do you think Passover is?
The exact date, you got me. What day is it?
April 4th, Saturday.
Saturday, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what it really is all about, is Passover, because you might want to have a couple words about what Easter, Queen Esther and all that kind of stuff.
Well, it was a pagan feast that was incorporated into Catholicism in the 3rd century with Constantine, etc. But Passover is what we're really celebrating. And the reason why is Passover? Passover was one of the passing over of the death angel, which is one of the final plagues that released the people of Israel, all 12 tribes, the 2 houses of Israel, Ephraim and Judah, and from Egypt. And Pesha, the death angel, they had to have marked on their doors the blood of the Lamb, which is a fore-prophecy of the coming of the Lamb of God, which is Yeshua, the Father in the flesh, Jesus, the incarnation of God. And by having the Passover lamb blood on their doors, the angel would pass over and not kill the firstborn.
And we have the blood of the Lamb over us now.
Right. And of course, when you start hearing and doing God's will, your blood, which is your life, joins God's, so you have His authority because you're a believer. That's why I say heaven starts today, and hell becomes evident when the body drops away. You don't have to wait to go to heaven. All these people say, I'm going to go to heaven.
Rhymes, Phil, that rhymes.
Yeah.
Well, we'll start off with Dorothy from Tennessee.
Yeah.
Dear Dorothy, she made a little mistake there, and it's a funny thing that she did about a month or so ago. Is she actually sat in one position talking to a friend of hers for 4.5 hours.
My.
And Dorothy's getting up there in her late 60s, 70s. And she's got some other issues going on, so, no one should really sit for that long, but I think there's more of a risk when you
That's why international flights are very bad if you don't get up every half hour or even driving. Everybody should drive no more than about a half hour to 40 minutes before you go to the bathroom, get up and walk. It's not just...
Half hour, 40 minutes, come on now.
No, that's actually the rules. They found that some people will start clotting as early as an hour after going to drive.
Well, guess what? After talking to Dorothy, and now she's got her nattokinase and her lumbrikinase, she's going to be taken care of. I even take nattokinase, so I'm not going to have to get out every half hour.
Remember in the offices in Denver, I had a Realogic machine, which is dual lasers. You take the blood, have our technician draw the blood, or I draw it, put it in the laser machine, and it would actually tell you the Realogic blood flow, which means non-Newtonian fluid dynamics of how viscous the blood is. thick blood or viscous blood is going to cause microcirculatory problems and clotting and other problems, which are all
I
serious.
didn't finish her story. What happened, though, is she was in a lot of pain, right? And then the pain kind of subsided, but then that leg that was giving her a problem started to swell, and I put her through to you.
Right. So basically, when I took her history, it's evident that she probably had a deep vein thrombosis, and they may have damaged the valve. So what she needed to have tests done was a NEVA, N-E-V-A, arterial and venous study, which is a non-invasive study. Not an arteriogram, it's a NEVA study, and the other is an ultrasound scan of her arteries and veins in her leg. And they need to look at the compartments and so on and make sure they're okay. I recommend, too, in terms of blood tests, they do a C-reactive protein, a blood profile, and if they can get the test called a PI-1, plasminogen activator inhibitor 1, and a CBC to make sure she doesn't have an elevation of one of her classes of white cells that would make her blood hyperviscous, and also an anti-nuclear antibody in case she's developing, or cedrate, increased inflammation, which can be a factor.
Yeah.
Those are kind of like the more blunt tests. They're more advanced ones that you can measure at what's called a blood viscosity lab, and I was one of the consultants at the lab in Denver. So we had all kinds of things like anti-Leiden antibodies, factor V Leiden mutations, other rheologic markers of increased blood viscosity or clotting.
Okay, getting back to Dorothy and her story, though, I didn't finish that. When she did get up after 4.5 hours, she couldn't walk.
Yeah, well, that's very dangerous. It's very dangerous.
She couldn't even walk.
Have probably gone right into the emergency department and got the test done. And then, as I say, there are some. That's why this is NUTRIMEDICAL, bringing the best of nutrition and medicine. If you're not a qualified medical doctor or have been in practice like I teach in the Academy of Anti-Aging Environmental Medicine, you got to take the best of medicine, best of genetics, epigenetics, etc., and the best of functional medicine, which is basically molecular wellness, into account, and other technologies that we promote.
This week I spoke with Lyle from up in Red Deer, Alberta, Canada.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place up there.
And he's one of our regular customers. I love to say that. Regular customer. I think that's my favorite 2 words. Regular customer. Anyways,
Yeah.
His wife is a second grade teacher. And she loves, and stands by the Combine Cherry. Now, his question to me was if I would sell a flat, because she goes through so much of this stuff. In fact, she said she used to drink wine, a glass of wine or 2 at night, and now she likes the Combine better. And it's kind of the same effect, because I've tried it to see what it's
It's
like.
actually better than it.
Yeah, because it's better for you.
Well, you don't
It's
get this sedation effect. You get a rebound, where a lot of people get agitated after alcohol. And the Combine also is very good for chronic anxiety, where a lot of people think they're depressed when they just have a GAD, or global anxiety disorder, it's called.
Getting back to my answer about a flat, yes, I'll make a flat for you and give you specials whenever you buy.
Yeah, by the way,
that's what we do for professionals.
I often recommend, by the way, the combination of the two, a scoop of each, Combine and Brain Mag. The two are fantastic together. If it's a Combine alone, I usually add a scoop of each, and boom, you're set.
Well, people are loving it just alone, Bill, so let them stay within their budgets and leave it at that. Okay.
We see the thing is,
Linda?
before they might need 2 scoops of the Combine, this way just need 1 scoop of each, so it won't cost them more.
Oh, you're thinking over there, aren't you? You're dangerous.
Yeah.
Linda, she's from Minnesota, and she wanted me to ask you, what is in the cod liver oil?
Cod liver oil is basically, they make sure that every batch of cod liver oil has absolutely no solvents, excipients, or heavy metals, and it's actually cod liver. It's the oil from cod liver, and it contains all the fat-soluble vitamins, EPA and DHA, which is eicosapentaenoic acid, docosahexaenoic acid, soluble, it causes phospholipids, which are particularly high in that, which help to rebuild all your solid organs.
Can I say something about the cod liver oil?
Yeah.
It's got an orange flavor,
Oh, it's
and
wonderful.
it's actually delicious in a little orange juice or even in water.
Yeah, there's no fishy taste
Delicious,
to it. It's
yeah.
super, super fresh.
Even Kelsey can take it.
It's really good. I put it actually
Even
in
Michelle could
I
take
put it in my drink, which I had on my desk here before for breakfast.
So, Linda, hopefully that answers your question. When we come back, Marcia from Texas has a
N.
Michelle and answering people's questions on physical health and maybe even some spiritual health questions.
This last question from people that call in with their questions. They don't email like this.
Right.
I usually say handful, fistful of emails that I have here
Right.
again today. So you can't just call in. You can ask for me. Ask for Michelle at 888-212-8871.
Do you want to say it a little slower? That's too fast for me. just kidding.
888-212-8871.
I know, I'm just teasing you because
Yes, I can.
I'm usually the one accused of
Did you
speaking
notice
too fast.
that I can slow down?
That's good.
Very much so.
I can too.
I can go to sleep.
It's possible, but it's so semi-miraculous. Go ahead.
So with her question I noticed was psoriasis. I think we already covered that last week, wasn't it, or the week
Yeah,
before?
I'll explain what psoriasis is first.
But real quick, we already covered it.
Psoriasis is a mite in the skin that carries various bacteria, up to 200 different types of bacteria in the mouth, microscopic organism. And it bites the skin, and what it does is injects these particular proteins that activate the release of cytokines at the prickle cell layer, the dermoepidermal junction called interleukin 27.
Yeah, I
And it
know,
causes
you
a
said
Kerberos
that
phenomenon where the
last
cells
week.
start to slough off, and you can get plaques. If you bump an area, you get a psoriasis plaque because you get the infective organisms. So it's, in a sense, a kind of like a para-autoimmune condition. And what we usually recommend to start with is real simple. Use the curcumin cream on the skin 4 times a day. Take anti-inflammatories internally, which is cell defense, twice a day, 2 caplets twice a day. I would recommend taking anti-inflammatory Omega Supreme, 2 soft gels twice a day, and then baths with the MG12 bath oils and the Magnasport, and that's really good. And you can put the Healing Body Balm on there as well from MG12.
Audrey sent from her iPhone, and she just sent this actually this morning to get it on for the firing line, so I'll put it in first. If a female age 30 had a CT for kidney stones and it showed a calcified vein, how would you treat this and the pain of passing stones? Other than lemon water, what can dissolve stones?
Magnesium potassium citrate. 2 caplets 3 to 4 times a day will dissolve the stones. The vein you want to protect with Vein Away, 2 capsules twice a day. And you can reverse the calcification with full vitamin K2, 2 capsules 3 times a day. Over time, will gradually reverse calcification of the stones, as well as Myco D2 and vitamin D3, which is a micelle D3. You want to take both. And the most important is the full vitamin K2 for reversing calcification and the Vein Away.
Next is CT from North Idaho. Hi, Dr. Bill. On your show, March 13th, Michelle read a praise report on my close-up vision becoming perfect. Just to let you know, I was not on the vision protocol. I was on the joint protocol.
Right.
It helped my knee considerably and fixed my close-up vision after being on it for almost 2 months, and I'm still fine. It's 1.5 years later.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what's in it. The
What's
joint
in
product,
it? Yeah.
it's Collagen Max, which is the going to repair every organ in your body is wrapped in collagen. Collagen also is a superhighway for the biophotons, which are light, infrared light, that actually tells the genes to turn on and off. So it helps your body regenerate.
You know I love
And
it.
then, of course, you have the joint performance, which helps to rebuild the cartilage in the joint and tendon mender. And then the anti-inflammatories, Inflamex. So if there's inflammatory changes occurring in the eye and you're taking Inflamex, and curcumin, which is a cell defense for your tissues, you're going to start healing your eyes. Yeah,
amazing?
so it's not surprising. But
That's
the eye
amazing.
protocol basics in the eye, though, are Can-C eye drops, Vision Max, right? And then I recommend usually the Cell Detox Glutathione and Nutricella.
Or the joint protocol. Okay,
Yeah,
let's move on.
Yeah. The
Anyways.
thing is, in other words, you start improving health in one organ system and it has effects in others.
Lim Wu Yi, Malaysia, from Malaysia, sent from his Samsung tablet. I always find interesting people all over the world.
Yeah.
Dear Michelle and Dr. Deagle, a very good day from Malaysia to both of you. Thank you. And if you're listening, I hope it's... What time would it be over there, Bill? I guess they're there like...
Well, they're crossing the international time
yeah.
zone, so they're going to be tomorrow. It'll be Saturday.
Yeah.
In Australia, for example, it is something like 7 or 8 hours earlier, like in Sydney. But it's the following. It's the next day now. In New Zealand, it's 5 hours. So, for example, in New Zealand, it's 5 hours earlier, but it's the next day, Saturday. So, right now it's 12. It'll be 7 5:25 in the morning in New Zealand, and it'll be
Okay, Bill.
2 hours earlier. What
TMI.
5:25 in Sydney
Okay.
Saturday. So they're not awake
You got
yet.
to watch out when you ask Bill a question, because you're going to get an answer, and then you're going to get another answer, and an answer to that answer. Okay.
Details.
His question, Dr. Deagle, can I know which product in NutriMedical will replenish silicon
Yes, the Collagen Max.
deficiency? Should it
it's the
What?
silicon. It's the orthosilicic silicon in Collagen Max.
Oh.
It's one of the more
Another-
important of our protocols because as you say, to regenerate your organs, you need extracellular matrix and you need collagen. If your body regenerates collagen, you'll notice everything. Wrinkles go in your skin, the arteries, the elastin in your arteries, like your aorta, for example. I had a gentleman that had an expanding aortic aneurysm from hypertension, and we put him on the Collagen Max last year, and his aorta has not expanded. It's gotten strong. It increases the elastin in the artery walls as well as the collagen, and it helped regenerate the collagen also in your bones, which is 42% dry weight, and the collagen helps to even help make the glycosaminoglycans of your cartilage. So it's a rate-limiting step. It triples the rate of the proline transhydroxylase that makes the new collagen, and of course it speeds up the rate-limiting steps for making elastin and the glycosaminoglycans of your cartilage too.
Guy from Quebec, Canada. Envoyez de mon iPad. That means from your iPad. I don't know.
You're showing
Hi.
off your French now, so you can speak
I don't know. I
French.
just noticed that they're in French, so
Yeah.
no wonder he's from Quebec. Hi, we are looking for a product similar to Lactosolve, long-lasting, that is not available anymore. You offer lactose blocker product.
Okay,
we want
now-
to know if your product is dissolving in the intestine, as my spouse is intolerant to regular lactase product.
Let me explain. This is the only. His other product is not similar to ours. Ours is the most superior and the only product on the planet that is a neutral pH lactase blocker, which
Okay.
means when it gets beyond the stomach, 95% of the lactose effect in your bowel messes up your bowel is past the stomach. Ours is the only product to work in the entire GI tract. So it's not going to cause any bad effects. And so the lactose blocker, if you got any lactose intolerance, you have milk, cheese, whatever, and many products have milk in it that are going to contain lactose, and 98% of the population are lactose intolerant. 98%. So yes, it's far superior, and you just take one capsule per every equivalent 8-ounce glasses of milk or 1 ounce of cheese. If you're going to have 2 ounces of cheese or 3 or 4 ounces, you want to have to take 2 capsules. Or if you're going to have 2 glasses of milk, take 2 capsules. Or
goes-
yogurt, that kind of thing.
He goes on to say that she also has a stomach flu. What couple products would you recommend for the stomach flu?
What I would do is Gastro Heal, 1 tablet to chew 4 times a day. And I would take the Living Probiotic.
I
And,
take Alimax.
and that's the next one, Alimax.
Okay, we'll be back in a minute. 3
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah.
How long are the commercial breaks?
Well, and welcome back, and that's IGY from Donald Fagan.
Greg, in an email, could Bill expand upon mitochondrial disease, or so-called, this Friday, first hour? Thanks and blessings to you and your family in the Lord.
All illness is related to 3 factors that are linked together. Decrease mitochondrial function, decreased electron density in the cytochrome, which is what the mitochondria make, and when they load up the cytochromes, the cascade of electrons creates ATP, adenosine triphosphate, and NADH. That's when you have low electron density, you have low pH, which is this acidosis, and you have hypoxia, which switches the cell to anaerobic metabolism. We have the combination of nutraceuticals that will reverse mitochondrial dysfunction. The first triad is Supernox, Anti-Age Max, and Nutritrella. Then we have the mitocarnitine, mitochondrial catalyst, IBS Care, which is a slow-release form, and we have now Vascular Care, which is
Of those, if you had to pick 2.
If I was going to pick just 2 things for mitochondria, I would pick CoQ10 and mitocarnitine.
Great. Carol,
Yeah, but then you can add other things to it too, depending what you're doing, and you can check mitochondrial function. There are advanced labs now in organic acids you can test in urine for mitochondrial metabolism.
Carol from Michigan. Hi, I'm Carol, previously from Indiana. but now that I am newly married, I am living in Michigan. My question is, if you are taking Ageless and life support, as well as a vitamin regimen and Minerals Plus all at the same time, is it too much for your body to assimilate?
Of course not. You're absorbing, your body's going to get high quality, high density nutraceuticals with low relative calories, and the calories in a form that are going to be stored as protein in your muscles, essential oils and fatty acids in solid organs, and carbohydrates easily metabolized to form glycogen in your tissues. So, no, you're not going to. You're going to absorb them quickly, and it's going to go to appropriate areas in your cells because of tracks amino acids. So it's going to bypass the logjam of getting the minerals into your cells, and all the other materials are super high quality. So they're going to allow your cells and tissues to have the capacity to, as they say, photocopy you into the future. In other words, rebuild your cells and tissues every day.
She's sweet here. She says, look forward to listening to the show every time I get a chance. You have blessed us so much with your cutting-edge info because you are so far ahead of other doctors. I thought I'd say that before you said it. Thank you, and be blessed.
Just ask tough questions. And again, I realize I'm coming out of ignorance, and every day I get up, I realize how little I know and how many more questions I need to ask to get a better answer.
Well, I'm making some progress. Kevin from San Mateo County here in California. Hi, Michelle. I love to hear you on Fridays. Get a lot of understanding and advice listening to other people's conditions and your attempts to slow Dr. Bill down just a little. LOL. I have purchased several items in the past and will be making a larger purchase this weekend during the sale. Hey, everybody's waiting for the sale. I have an active account with NutriMedical. It just goes on to say, I think we'll get to his question here, Bill. I'm on a tight budget, and I've been saving to start a regimen for my angina.
Okay, firstly, what is angina? Angina is a vascular spasm of your arteries, primarily at branch points of your arteries, like the left anterior descending circumflex and other arteries. At branch points, you tend to build a plaque more easily. And what is plaque? Plaque is where you get a macrophage, or big eater cell, that eats trans fats, inflammatory fatty acids, or oxidized 9-nornyl hydroxycholesterol. When they die, they produce soluble ICAM 1 and 2, tumor necrosis factor alpha, interleukins, etc. They increase chemotaxis of other macrophages, as well as the precipitation of platelets and fibrin. Layer upon layer, they build up, and if it bursts, it produces what's called factor 5A, an extrinsic pathway, so it produces clots, and it can embolize down the artery and block it and give you a heart attack or a stroke. To reverse that, we have our cardiac protocol. I start off with real simple, straightforward things. Number 1, Cardivite, Omega Supreme, Supernox, and Gamma E+, and then Force Colon. Those are the core. It's very important to have the magnesium glycinate malate, and I usually recommend high dosages of that. You want to get supernormal levels. And anti-inflammatories, I recommend selenium cruciferate and cell detox glutathione, Nutritrala, and Regenerex, because you got to stop free radical damage. And nitric oxide is optimized with high-dose Gamma E+, which is important, along with the Supernox, and we should be able to reverse the plaque. Over a period of years, if you have elevated triglycerides, take Neovasc. To stop the abnormal high levels to raise your HDL, take Omega Cod Liver Liquid, along with the Omega Supreme, and the antioxidant in the krill oil, the astaxanthin, will prevent the formation of new plaque.
Sarah, in an email, Hi, Michelle. My sister, 49 years old, is suffering from debilitating eczema. Could you offer any supplemental solutions for her? And I love your husband on Jeff Red Show.
Firstly, what is eczema? Eczema is a systemic reaction, usually to food allergies, that produces a breakdown in the skin because you release cytokines in the skin, you get skin breakdown. So what you want to do first off is take our Allergon and Allerblock, a capsule of each 3 times a day, Power C, 3 to 6 capsules 3 times a day with 1 full vitamin K2 for every 3 Power C. Then topically on the skin, you want to be using curcumin cream and Silver 100 on the skin, and then take baths with MG12 magnesium oil and the Magnasport, and then you can spray your body afterward with the Magnasport. But I tell people the most important thing you can also apply to the eczema areas. The curcumin cream is very important every 2 to 3 hours. That's number 1. And number 2 would be the Healing Body Balm, which is Arnica montana essential oils, and that should clear it right up. You're stopping the cytokines in her blood. You also want to do testing to find out what she's allergic to. You can do those tests through, let's say, go to directlabs.com and get a blood test for IgG and IgE antibodies. IgE eliminate. IgG you can eliminate for 3 months to 6 months and then rotate them back in after that time once you've healed your gut up with Living Probiotic Ultra, and Allison Med. And, of course, berberine, because usually you have dysbiosis in your gut. If you've got yeast allergy and you've got food allergy, you've got a leaky gut, those large protein molecules are getting across there to produce cytokines in your blood that cause the eczema. So everybody with eczema has food allergy.
John and Judy, your friends in Louisiana. Hello, Michelle and Dr. Bill. I hope this email finds you well. My wife Judy just got through with 6 months of chemo at MD Anderson for stage 4. Mantle cell lymphoma.
Right.
Mantle cell lymphoma.
Okay.
So she just got home last night and seems to be recovering well from her poisoning. I need for Dr. Bill, when he has time, to let me know what I should do in the form of NutriMeds to start the healing process. We were thinking that a detox would be where we'd start.
Well, if you're talking about detox from the chemo, the 3 things you need is life support, NutriDefense, and xenoestrogen detox. And if you can get infrared sauna, it's good to try to get infrared sauna, like our. But the most important thing are those nutraceuticals. You got to think, what is cancer? Cancer has 2 things growing in it. You have cancer stem cells and the cancer itself. Mm-hmm. Cancer is not a deficiency of chemotherapy. It's not caused by a deficiency of chemotherapy. It's caused by cells trying to survive stress. So what you want to do there is take ellagic acid, 2 capsules 3 times a day, and malignant blocks 3 times a day, and a packet of the malignant arrest twice a day, high-dose micelle D3 and myco D2, and you want to strip off the capsule of the tumor with Inflamex 3 to 5 capsules 2 to 3 times a day, and cell defense, very important, 2 caplets 2 to 3 times a day. That's your core protocol for cancer. The other things that are important there is to restore the immune function. We use immunoglobulins, Immunomax or NutriImmune, 4 capsules 3 times a day, or a teaspoon 3 times a day. But cancer stem cells will persist and they become more chemo and radiation resistance afterward. So to make sure it doesn't come back, she needs to be on a persisting protocol to repair the DNA or push the cells
And
with
what's the main detox product?
The 40 main detox are Power C and full vitamin K2, NutriDefense, xenoestrogen detox, and life support. That's what she needs. Yeah.
Is your whole health constantly challenged?